welcome again, and we're moving on to the next stage in this design, which is designing this little guy here, the lip. So this is where the fluid pours from into your cup or your glass and all of that, right? So this is a bit fairly complicated, but I'm going to try to explain it as simply as I can and run through this as fast as I can as well. All right, so I'm going to suppress this whole folder, and we're just going to see we could start it again from the beginning. So I'm going to create a plane, and I want a plane on the highest point of this part. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into planes, and I think I'll take 3 points and just look for 3 points. All right, and that should create a plane. Let me flip normal here. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to sketch on this plane, and basically I'm trying to set up myself to sketch what is going to be a triangle, right? And because when you look at the lip from the top, it kind of looks like a triangle. So that's what I'm trying to do, and make this guy and this guy collinear, right? And we can make guys symmetric, right? So I'm going to specify this as 18 is fair, and I will specify the angle as 45 degrees. Okay, that looks a bit more. Let me say 75 degrees. Okay, that's better. So yeah, okay, let me hide this plane here, and let's look for the right plane. So of course it's not just a simple extrude, right? So I have to draw another sketch, something like this, and then we can dimension this 45, and we can dimension this 35. As long as it crosses out, into the part, that's fine. So any distance at all, because we're going to cut it out at the end of the day. So, but yeah, okay, and then we will do a sweep, right? We could do this 2 ways. We could do an extrude, I think. Let me try this with a direction. And that should give you what you want, and you can also adjust the distance, right? So that works. And you can also do a sweep where you just select the face, select your sweep path, and it just gives you exactly that. So all you want to do is make sure it's on new, and then you click OK. Right, so that's that. The next thing you want to do, let's hide planes. I'll just select type P on my keyboard to hide all the planes. The next thing I want to do is let's look for offset surface. So I need to cut out all of these unnecessary, pieces. I just need a certain piece of this. So I'm going to offset these 3 surfaces 0 mm, right? So just on the surface like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And so we have this, right? And so now I think I could split this. Where is split? Sorry. Sometimes I have trouble finding these commands. Should be here, right? Ah, there it is. Split. All right, so we split this part and we split with this surface, and we're not keeping both sides, we're just keeping, yeah, we're just keeping this. So this is what I intend to achieve, right? So because it's supposed to flow, right, from the pan to the lip, right? So yeah, now we can isolate this and do a shell, and I'm going to remove, let's make this consistent with the thickness of the pan, and let's remove these pieces. All right, boom, there we go. So we're almost there. And what else? Okay, I think we could do this before we do the shell. We could fillet this. Let me choose 4. I think that's fine. Yeah, and then I can easily roll back down, right? Then we have that there. So now we need to find a way to cut this out, right? And we might need to do that again before the shell, right? We might need to do that again before the shell. So what we do is we go to boolean, and then we subtract using this as the true and this as the target. So make sure you click this option to keep tools, right? So that makes you keep the tool, but you can see that portion of the face on the pan is removed, and then we can go back to our fillet and go back down to our shell again. So we have this. Okay, so you can see I have a problem here where there's a little gap, and that's because this fillet happened after the boolean. So you see, as I take the fillet before the boolean, that solves that problem. All right, so this is where we are, and at this point we might need to do another boolean, and we're going to join this part and this part together. And I think I want to maintain the yellow, so I'm going to switch that and keep tools. No, unclick keep tools, right? And okay. Oh, I think I said I wanted to keep the yellow. So just switch that down, and okay. So yeah, and this is how we get our lip designed. All that's left is to add some fillets. Let's see, I'll add a very small one here, and probably add the same along this place. Yeah, and then do another fillet, and that's the one. Yeah. So this is our lip, and yeah, it looks good. So what you can do then is you select all of this and add selection to folder, call it lip. Boom, there you go. So that's how it's done. And yeah, we'll move on to the final part of this series, and that is the juicer itself, or where the magic happens. So see you there. Thank you for watching.